Let's see. Okay, this tells me that I'm live. So now I'm gonna go to my phone to make sure that I'm actually live.
I should probably
You
check
guys
too.
see us
Oh
in the
no.
comments? Do you see me and Emma? Are we here? Okay, it says live. Ooh, cool.
I need to pull it up too.
Okay, I see us. So I'm joined tonight, because I'm at night, but Emma's during the day. Um, Time is so weird. It is like insane. 'Cause I know for you it's like Monday, right?
Yeah, it's Monday morning.
For me, it's Sunday night. This is amazing. Amazing.
I'm so used to it because I'm used to I normally speak to Americans and they're usually in the past. That's
Yeah,
the thing. It's not even that. It's you guys are in the past. That's the trippy thing.
we're already in the future. But it's like, this is crazy. Like if somebody from the 1500s time traveled to our time, they'd be like thinking this is magic. Like magic.
It's
Shout
so
out to
funny.
whoever, nobody invented the internet, but shout out to whoever discovered the internets, because this is incredible. I'm
Mel,
like,
you're gonna lose your mind when I tell you it's winter here.
I figured. Yes, I always heard that like Australia, like their seasons for us like opposite. So for you, it's winter in July, which is cool.
Yeah, it's very different. We have our summer and at Christmas time, so beach Christmas usually, barbecue, yeah, all that good stuff. It must
Yeah.
be so crazy for you to think.
Well, funny enough, I'm in the US, but I'm in Florida. So
Oh, okay, it's not that
Florida,
different then.
yeah, it's like the same thing. So like I
Hmm.
have like hot Christmases. I would like to, for once in my life, experience like a winter wonderland
Me
Christmas.
too.
I want to experience that because I see it all the time on TV. Like, what's that
Yeah,
like?
I did it once in Scotland, but I'd love to do it in New York and go ice skating and do all that stuff. The movies.
Gosh, me too. I
Yeah.
freaking love New York. I've been there multiple times, and I have been when it's snowing, but I haven't been during the holidays because usually like I go with friends and not with family, and obviously holidays like the family thing, but
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah. Hey, hi everybody in the comments. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in and checking out the channel. Yeah, yeah. So if this is your first time on my channel, I kind of just talk about things that I want to talk about. So that could be anything from movies or TV, and I have recently found a way to put books into my channel. So I just started a new series called Pages to the Screen, where I'll talk about books that I want to see come to life on screen. And I do it with a friend of mine, and I found a way to slide into booktube slowly but surely, because I was reading so much and I was like, I need to put this out there somewhere. I need to find my people, and the internet's great for that. So yeah, yeah. Thank you, honorable show, and hi Brittany, hi Dawn, hi Idle Hand. Everybody's up in here. Yeah. So Us, Jordan Peele came out in 2019. I remember watching this movie, and I was excited because it's crazy. He came from like this world of comedy, and now I feel like he's known as like this, like the guy that you go see his horror movies, and it's like, how did that even happen? But he had the amazing debut with Get Out, that was critically acclaimed, and he won an Oscar for the screenplay for it, and there were great performances, and it was definitely a horror movie that had a bunch of layers to it, which a lot of horror movies do. And that came in at a particular time for us that kind of really showed us what he can do, and what he continues to do. And I think for me, I put him at a level of like a Christopher Nolan to me, in the sense that it doesn't matter what he's working on. Like, I know I'm going to go see his movie. It doesn't matter. I don't need to see a trailer. I don't need to know what it's about. I just know that he's somebody that I keep my eye on and I keep my ears open for, because I know it's going to be something original and different. And it always feels great to be excited for something like that, especially now with like all the legacy sequels like Top Gun, which I actually liked, and all the superhero movies that are coming out. It's cool to have some original pieces as well.
I think for me personally, I didn't really know, and this is probably going to be really bad, but I didn't know too much about Jordan Peele before I saw Get Out, because I wasn't really on that side of comedy or anything like that
Yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Get Out for me was amazing, but Us for me is like actually a masterpiece, and I'm so like, I just don't understand that people don't see it that way. I know that we all have our own kind of like vices, but for me, Jordan Peele is so different because of the detail of the work. Every single object, everything means something. You can go through a Jordan Peele film like just frame by frame, and people have, and you just get so many different, like everything that even like chairs, what they're made of and things like that. I have a book actually here that a viewer and a friend sent to me, and it's from Us, and it has like all of the objects in it, and every like it's just amazing. Like every little thing that he's like picked out, and like there's like obviously there's background meanings for everything. All these symbols. Sorry, I look so crazy right now. I'm like, look.
I may ask you about your objects during the stream because I want to know, because I did notice like there are certain things that he uses repeatedly. Like for example, like the bunnies, like even the girl's shirt, like the daughter's shirt has like a bunny on it.
Yes, Run.
What is it? Oh, Run.
Yeah. It has. I think it says Run on it. But okay, we need to look this up.
I just remember like a picture of a bunny.
But I mean, a great example, and I'm sure everyone's seen this one, is the scissors that are two faces.
Yeah.
So opposing faces, which is what it's all about. Sorry, I'm getting into getting my registering out already.
Wow. I love this.
It's just like there's just so much in it, and that's what I'm really excited about with obviously with Nope. I haven't even watched any trailers. I just don't do that anyway.
I was
not for horror.
Avoid, because I've only ever seen the teaser, which didn't really say anything. And
I did see the teaser.
I was trying to avoid any trailers, but I went to the movies today, and it wasn't a horror movie, so I was mad when the Nope trailer came on. So I've seen that trailer, but I still don't know what's going on.
You watched it? I do this.
I did.
Like a loser.
My ears are listening to it.
No, that's true. But I feel like if you don't see it, you can't see like what it's matched up to. And I'm such like a visual person. If I like see things, then I'm going to try and remember. The book is actually, it's a promotional book that he sent around before sending the film to festivals, I think. It became only available online afterwards. My friend got it for me. I think they had a couple of copies on eBay. Like people sold theirs off. But it doesn't actually have a title. It just says Monkey Paw Productions. It doesn't. It's called Pieces of Us. Sorry, there you go. But yeah, if you find it, let me know. But I'll send this, which is so nice.
Check out eBay.
eBay or Amazon or something.
People are agreeing on not wanting any spoilers. Even though I did see the full trailer, I still don't know what's going on. So I think I'll be okay. I feel like it's super mysterious.
Oh yeah.
But I'm excited for that. So I just want to talk about, so I had rewatched it to prepare for this. And one of the things that strikes me is Lupita Nyong'o's performance. I think she's so good. And I'm just like, why is she not? And this was her first lead role. And I'm just like, why is she not in more things? Like she's so good in this. She's brilliant. There's like this, she's scary, but she's vulnerable because she is playing like this duality. But I think she freaking killed it in this movie. She was so good. Yeah.
I mean, she's been in quite a bit since, but I just don't think that anything's going to be as effective in showing her I guess her strength. And you're right. Like she gets to show two sides of her, and that's always going to make you look so powerful as an actor. I think it's like probably a dream performance for any actor to go in there. And I mean, probably really hard, but obviously to have those two things in your show reel it's amazing. Complete chills. Especially my favorite scene in the film. I don't know if we're talking about spoilers. Are we talking about spoilers?
I mean, this is 2 years old, y'all. We're talking about spoilers. So this is your fair warning now.
The dance scene, it's almost like a dance where they have the fight scene in the classroom. That is just, and the music that comes in, oh my God. Every time I get chills. After I went and saw this film, I kept making people watch it. I made my partner watch it, and he's like, yeah, it was all right. I'm like crying, you know. It's just, I don't know. But interesting what you said about about trailers and not giving anything away. I feel like when I had this weird experience when I went and saw Us, because it had already been out for 2 weeks in America. I was really worried I'd seen too much or I'd heard too much, because I have like lots of people in my DMs being like, oh, I'm so excited, I liked this. I'm like, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but please don't tell me. And, you know, just like memes and stuff come up. But when I sat there and then the title scene comes up, it has like writing and it talks about the underground and like these underground tunnels. I'm like, I have no idea what this film's about, because like you keep thinking it's just about these doppelgangers that are chasing these people, but it's so much deeper than that. Literally, it's so deep. So yeah, it just blew me away. And that's what I hope with Nope as well. It's like that. Like we all think that we kind of have an idea of what it's about, but I think it's going to be a lot more, which is exciting.
For sure. I am super excited to check out Nope. And when watching this movie with us, I think it may be open to interpretation, or you may also get different things at different times and that you watch it. And I'm like a nerd that I'll like after I watch something, I'll watch like the interviews about it and stuff. And I especially would love to hear from the creator himself. And I know during the press rounds, Jordan Peele was talking about how, you know, there's, you know, lots of fear about the other, you know, what if the other, the scary thing is us, is ourselves. And I remember after I watched it, and then you see like the reveal of like this whole world of doppelgangers in the underworld, I guess. It was like, it's a very sad and painful world. And what I got out of it was, we as the surface people, we kind of take certain things for granted that we don't even think about. You know, like we have all these sorts of, like we have the sky, the sunshine, and they have all these foods, and then these people are out here in the underworld eating rabbits, and we are just kind of going through the motions, or actually they're going through the motions and not really getting to experience it. So for me, I kind of walked away from it thinking about, it's kind of like a commentary on not being grateful and not really realizing the privileges that we have. And it could all easily, and it's all because, you know, these people are the doppelgangers, but also at the end we have like the big reveal where like the double, oh my God, this is so like, we're just talk about what's her name, Adelaide, who we think is Adelaide is actually Red. All because of that switcheroo. Like it easily could have been somebody else growing up with like that privileged life. So I think that for me was like the deeper message about that was, it's like kind of like with luck, like it's like where you're born. It kind of, yeah. So it's like you're privileged because of where you're born, and you were lucky enough to be on like the right side of that. So yeah, and that's how I got.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful, and that's really well said. I always think about like the double kind of meaning with us and the US. Yeah, and a lot about that, like poverty and like where you fall literally on the line, because if you're above or below, which is, yeah, it's just, a lot of people talk about all of the plot holes with being underground, you know, like being on a roller coaster and stuff and doing the exact same things. But you're completely right. We've got to look at it from the whole, like the bigger picture and what that really means for society. But it's also what you said about us against ourselves, and really what would happen if the people of America came together as, sorry, my dog is crying right next to me, came together as like a group against all of these things we're afraid of, instead of separating, instead of being like us versus them. Sorry, getting a little bit political, but you know, like it shows all of those different ideas in it. And then oh my dog, yeah. So I just think that there's so many different meanings, but yeah, you're right. It's like it is all about privilege and where you fall, and it's so sad when you hear that monologue about that Adelaide's doing, really Red is doing in front of the fireplace, and she's talking about how she ate, you know, rabbit raw and all that kind of stuff, and how her toys were all sharp, and it's just really interesting how it can either be on the sunshine side where, you know, they literally go to the beach and all of that kind of stuff, and how opposite I guess it is. There's no in between.
And there are some things that I also noticed about Adelaide, meaning the surface sunshiny one, like the one that we think is, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard because they're both the same, really, because they do the switcheroo.
I have to make sure like I explain myself, but I realized that like there's like little things where I think she's showing her gratitude for being above ground. Like for example, like when all the family is traveling and they're all eating fast food, like she's the only one that's eating fruits. Like she's the only one eating healthy things.
Yeah.
When they're at the beach, when they're all drinking alcohol, she's like, no, I'm fine with my water. She doesn't want to like treats her body as like a temple, I guess. And and then she obviously worked really hard to learn to speak because the other tethered can't speak. But she learned, she had to learn. So I feel like because at the end it's like it's asking like, because I think the son kind of knows something's off. Is she a villain or was she trying to survive? Right?
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah. That's like such a good point. There's also this really cool moment where she's in the beach house and she the spider, and she's like kind of singing Itsy Bitsy Spider, and then people talk about how that's about her who gets the other her who gets drowned out and is coming back for her because it's like Itsy Bitsy Spider went down the water spout, out came the rain, and then came back, and because the whole time she's looking out the window, because I kind of saw you're meant to see the foreshadowing of her, how scared she was that something was coming, because she knew she was there, she was at the gate, and she felt like it was going to come back for her. And I think that's almost like the alcohol thing for me. And I mean, it probably works both ways, but it's just her wanting to be on her like A game, because she's like ready that at any moment she could have to deal with the repercussions of what had happened. Her coming back for her. So, but like the spider thing I thought was like a good, I guess, metaphor for it, because it's like the spider's totally washed down, but like one day it's going to come back and get you, which is so scary.
Yeah, it is scary. And I didn't even think about that. But yeah, see, this is like he's saying certain things like in different ways, or like we're taking it in different ways. And that's amazing. Like I
love that. Yeah, it's just so many layers. It really is.
For sure. And I also think the performances of like the kids were great in this. Everybody was kind of on their A game, especially oh my gosh, Elizabeth, her last name is Moss. Yes. She was so scary. That scene where she's in front of the mirror and like crazy smile on her face, and she's like she's cutting herself up.
I know. She's just so good. I love Elizabeth Moss and everything, but she's so well fitted to this kind of role. Like, the switching.
I mean, it later got her to do, because I heard her talk about how she watched Lupita kill it in this movie, and then she wanted to do something like that, and she did The Invisible Man, which I think is also really good, and she was really great in it. But yeah, that's what it's a scene for me that I always think about, because she has like these icy blue eyes, and then like that mirror, it's so creepy. Yeah. And, oh God, the music. We didn't even talk about the music yet, but I love the music.
I put up my vinyl here. I have the vinyl of it. Such an amazing soundtrack. And so interesting, the score. So the score is like some chanting, and it actually it's not a language. So he made it so it sounded like it could be a language, but it's kind of so it's like all these different inspirations put into one, because he wanted it to sound like it was real but wasn't a real place, which I think is so interesting. So and of course, I mean, there's a lot of different inspirations in the or I guess different kinds of music in the soundtrack. I mean, he's always really good at soundtracks. But I just love the score and how like damning it is and scary and strange. So it does feel like it's from another place, but you can't really pinpoint where it's from, which I think is really well done, really well thought out.
I really love the score too. And I remember especially like the dancing scene. I remember the score being very apparent in that, because she's like dancing and like telling her story, because they told her like as she's growing up with the therapist, like she needs to do certain things so that she can tell us her story. And then she is telling us, and we're seeing the dance, and then she's saying the story, and it's just it all comes together. It all makes sense. So well done.
it's just so many different aspects. I like that he went so hard with the characters. Like he didn't have to go like, I mean, I'm glad he did, but it's just so crazy to have that expression as well with the dancing, like just added on top of everything that they're already doing with all of the characters all of the time. It's pretty amazing.
And there's like people with like different talents in this movie as well. So like one of the kids is a runner, and then the other kids is into like magic tricks. But then like we see like their doppelgangers also have these same talents, but they're all kind of like twisted and really creepy. Because like towards the end when they're driving and they don't realize that it's a trap, and then the other, I think it's the good kid, he lets him know it's a trap because the other kid set this trap as like a magic trick. So that's like he's like these evil powers. And then of course the girl doppelganger is like they're running because that's like her talent. And my God, being chased is one of my worst fears. I've had so many nightmares about being chased. So that to me alone is like very creepy.
Yeah, the whole thing with him playing with fire is, I mean, that's like peak like creepy kid for sure. Yeah, but that scene where he kind of like traps him is just terrifying with the fire.
Yes.
But he has to use those like tricks against him when he figures that out. I think the kid's like the first one to kind of figure out how to like use that his strengths to be the other kid's like weaknesses, and trap him in that way. So yeah, it's pretty.
And then like I think about like more examples of like not realizing like the privileges and stuff, but like the father's doppelganger, like when you first meet him, he's doing like these weird things with his eyes, and then you realize later it's because he can't see. So he like takes the glasses from the dad's eyes, and like now he feels like he could see again. And it's just like those little things that you pick up on. For me, like watching it or like thinking about it long after, I was like, oh yeah, like this is what that was for and stuff like that. And it of course, like the ending ends with the, I forgot what it's called, but like the
Hands Across America.
Here we go. See, you're
I've watched it too many times.
movie. People always talk about like, oh, like, well then like what happens next? Because she said like, or someone says it's like about making a statement. If he were to make like an Us Part 2, which I don't think he would or should, shouldn't like leave it. Are they like, is it a statement? Are they attacking more people? Are they killing all the doppelgangers? Are they what's happening? What's going on?
Well, I think that's the thing. It's kind of left up because there are like helicopters and there are kind of like people reporting on it, and there's obviously people who got through, but with every person that's holding hands, when you see that wide shot, there's a lot of people that are probably killed off their doppelgangers. So, yeah, I really like the end, and it's funny because usually I don't mind an ambiguous ending, but I just didn't need anymore. It's very strange when you think about it because it is like a very open-ended film, but I guess it's to show people that it's like a warning sign, really, isn't it? It's like things are coming unless you really get your shit together. Like, yeah, I don't know in the world what would have played out, but I do have a feeling that the doppelgangers have like taken it, and it's their time, as they keep saying, it's their time.
For sure. And I feel the same way. Like I feel like I didn't need more. All you have to do is just rewatch the movie again and again.
Yeah.
There's no
if
need.
anything, I would be worried that they would one day make it into a TV show, because it would make sense as a TV show, having different episodes with different people, like dealing with their doppelgangers. And I hope I shouldn't have put that out in the universe. Let's not do it.
Yeah. I'd love to hear more about some of your other favorite scenes and favorite moments, other themes that you think of.
Well, yeah, I mean, the dancing thing is always my absolute, it's just magical. I'm trying to think of like one of my other favorite scenes.
I agree.
I mean, yeah.
I love the opening scene. It's nice,
yeah,
slow, and the cold opening. It pulls you right in because it is very creepy. Other creepy things are those mirror houses.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. And that's so interesting. Yeah, that whole scene, because it's like it seems so obvious when you go back what happened, that they like the whole switcheroo.
That's a good question. Did you call the fact that they switched places like early on?
Well, I did call something was wrong with who we thought was Adelaide, because it was like the moment when she's in the son's room and she pulls the curtain closed and she's like telling him like to get into bed and stuff, and that's before the doppelgangers have like rocked up and gone to like on the driveway. So it was I definitely knew something was shady was going on with her, but obviously when you find out how much she knows, you're not really sure 100%. And I like that feeling. You're going, is this what I think is happening? And I think that's like the best thing a movie can do, and then give you that reveal, because it's so satisfying to have that payoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching it for the first time. I didn't really realize the switcheroo thing until like it was almost done. So it got me pretty good like through most of it. I will give Jordan Peele that.
Yeah. No, I mean that's what it's meant to do, I guess. You're meant to kind of like slowly like click onto it. I think that the beach scene is pretty powerful as well. When she like runs over to him, like there's got to be something going on the way she's acting with her kid. I know her kid's missing, but when she like runs up to him, like it's pretty interesting, because it took me a couple of watches, which is really sad, to realize that the guy who stands on the beach is the first Link. I don't know why it took me so long to like figure out. I was like, I just thought like weird things are happening. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like some creepy guy with like a bleeding hand for sure. Like, I guess like the first, or maybe not the first, but like the first, or maybe the fourth, fifth doppelganger to make it out.
Yeah, or like first Link there. My question really is like, how far does this go? Because you see it like across America, but you wonder, because they never really, and I think that that's the whole point though, is that it is about us, America, poverty lines, all that kind of stuff in America. But you just wonder what's going on in the rest of the world. Like, is it happening, or are they thinking like, what the heck? Like, are you guys okay? You know?
Really good question. Because like, don't all places have undergrounds, right? Like,
yeah, or even just Canada or like Mexico, like connected. Like, I'm like, what, these guys like just, like what's happening over there? Like,
for sure. And I really love like the use of the colors in this movie. So all of the doppelgangers, the tethered, are wearing like these Bob the Builder red.
That's a funny reference, Bob the Builder.
I mean, it kind of makes me think of, they're like workman suits. And I remember, because I love like reading like thoughts and theories and stuff, and like someone pointed out that like Adelaide, like the Adelaide that we know.
I love how you think about it. You're like, is it Adelaide or Red? It's the same, really.
It's the same.
They both play that each role.
The longer hair. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Her white shirt gets like more and more red as the movie goes along. And also realizing that like the family, the non-doppelgangers, are very kind of quick and okay with the slashing of this. Like, I remember that scene where they're all getting in the car. It's kind of like played to be funny, but it's also kind of disturbing, because they're talking about like their kill counts, and they're like, well, I killed this many people, well, I did this, and it's just like, y'all realize you took someone's life, right? It's just, they're kind of like trying to one up each other. And I feel like there's also some commentary there about I don't know, like the violence in this perfect privileged world that we built for ourselves, and it's not so perfect, and it's not so squeaky clean. Like, you could succumb to like the violence, just like the tethered had to as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said with what you've just said, in terms of history coming back to like bite us, because that's exactly what Adelaide or Red or whoever on the ground is scared of. History coming back, or she knows that it's there. And a lot of people are so ignorant to it being there, and knowing that it's going to come, it could come through at any point. So, yeah, I think it's like pushing others down for the benefit of themselves, and then that coming back or crack showing. In this case, it's really strange that they put an elevator, like that they got, an escalator. I don't know if you call it an escalator. I'm sure you do. That they're coming out of. I just think that's like such a weird, like, it's not like a little, I don't know, like they're going down into a tunnel, like they're going down a ladder. Like, it's so weird that there's like, who built the escalators there?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I didn't really realize to like question that, but I guess the government during the experiments.
Yeah, but why that? Like, it's such a weird, like in such a cold like atmosphere. It's like a mall, like like they're going down into it. It's so strange.
Yeah, that's a good call out. I didn't even think about that until you just pointed it. But that is like funny. It's like an escalator, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I get it because it's kind of like sterile and like it can be like a cool way for them, the movement of them like finding out for the first time. They're like slowly, and maybe that's it. I don't know. There's got to be something behind it. It's Jordan Peele. Like there has to be a reason. But yeah, there's no ladder. Like you'd assume that you just like drop them down the sewer or something. You know what I mean? Like put a big lid on it. It would just be, but it's just very strange.
Yeah. And now that I just mentioned it, I think that's one of my other favorite sequences is the first time that we get to see the other tethered, like another family, which is
Oh yeah, the Elizabeth Moss family, right?
huh?
Is it the twins, the creepy twins?
Yeah, the twins, and then the parents. And then the first time that you see like that kill is one of the twin doppelgangers just like kills one of the twins, which why did he add like I'm always questioning why did he add twins to this? What was the point?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that it was for me, I do believe it's a call out to Shining, like because I think that, it's just creepy twins. But obviously a huge theme we haven't even spoken about is 1111 or like 11 because it's like, the whole it's written everywhere throughout the whole film from the start. Like the dad's watching like a baseball game or whatever sport and like they call that as like the score on the kids he has like a toy ambulance and on that is 11 and then they actually get put into that ambulance at the end. It's the same one, has the 11, everything is 11, so I feel like the twins kind of, it's the mirror.
Okay, interesting. See, like that's just like Jordan Peele, you're making me having to like dissect something. And it's like he's like, no, like I just put this here so that, like I have it all around in this universe that I've created.
I just don't understand how, like, logistically, when people make a film like this, how they can put in so much like foreshadowing and so many little details. Like it's just absolutely insane.
Insane. Like how much of that is written in the script and how much of that is like in post? Like,
yeah, no, 100%. I'm like, I really would love to know how they do the scripting process for this because it's like they have the storyline and they have like the weaving storylines and they have like the metaphors and then like I can't even imagine what that room would be like. It would be like the red string everywhere. And then you'd have to bring in like art design and try and tell them, okay, but it has to look exactly like this, and the scissors have to look like faces, like all of this craziness. It would have taken so long to like prep the whole thing. And although like Get Out has a lot of like hidden meanings and a lot of different things, it's such a smaller set because it's all contained within like one interior house. I know that probably is not what it actually looks like, but this film is like locations upon locations. We've got, like beaches, lots of like suburban, like just driving and all that kind of stuff. And there's just so much. And then the pier. And it's just insane how big of a production it would have been to really try and tie all this stuff. But yeah, I do think that The Shining is a reference, but I think that he's spoken about that a lot of horror movies are referenced in this. It is a horror movie for horror lovers. Like it's a full-on horror movie, which is what I love about it.
It is a lot more horrific than Get Out was. Like for Get Out, I always thought it was more like a suspenseful thriller. And then when I watched Us, I was like, oh no, this is like a slasher movie.
Yeah. It's hard to say what you would put it as. I mean, technically, yeah, you're right. It is like a slasher because it is taking everyone out. But it's also like an adventure in a weird way because it's like a journey movie. Like, so it's always interesting to have like adventure slashers.
They're literally going down the rabbit hole. It's like
yes,
Alice, and then they've gone down to this mad world.
I think that definitely a missed opportunity with having it just being a hole in the ground then.
Right? Oh
yeah. Because that's yeah, you're totally right. Yeah. That's so interesting.
It's like it's so multi-layered. And yeah, and I kind of just want to like to wrap up and talk about His next adventure, no, I mean, I've already talked about, like, I don't know. I just know, like, it may be aliens, and that's about it.
Yeah, basically that's what I know. And I think, like, I believe it's probably set in some, like, I don't know, like Midwestern kind of, I don't know if it's, yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it feels like very ranchy. So, ranchy. So, that's a new word I just made up. Yeah. So I'm excited, especially with X, which is in Texas. And it seems like they're having like a lot of those kinds of films that are going back to like cowboy kind of roots, or like just, I guess for, I mean, sorry, I don't mean to get political, but for in America, like Texas and all that is like quite horrific right now. So maybe that's why they're all kind of meeting in the middle. I think X was definitely like a, it just so happened like that, because that was filmed, I don't know if you know, that was filmed in New Zealand. So it just like mimics that kind of like landscape. But yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot to say with the location. I think that that's definitely something, because it's not really Jordan Peele to go to that kind of location. Oh, we haven't seen it yet. He's only got 2 films. So I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's true. That's a really good point. And I'm excited now to go watch Nope and then see if that is a fact about the location and stuff.
There's got to be something.
For sure. And speaking of just like horror in general, I'm also, because you mentioned X, and that reminded me of this new Scream queen, apparently. Jenny Ortega is like, she's like,
I love her.
Everything. I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm just saying she's in everything.
She is. She is. I just watched American Carnage like 2 days ago, which is another film she's in.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and she was in the Foo Fighters film, Studio 666. She's in all horror movies now, which I love. It took me a while to kind of understand her style of acting, but I watched The Fallout. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't seen The Fallout.
Okay. I won't tell you what it's about. You should definitely go look into it before you watch it, because it will make you cry your eye. It's like horrendous. It's a really good movie, and it really gave me a lot of respect for her style of acting, and now I kind of get it. I love her. So I'm really excited to see.
Are you planning on watching what's that? Wednesday. She's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, she's gonna kill it.
I can't wait for that. Because I feel like I connect with Wednesday on a personal level, and with the Addams Family. I think they kind of like represent, like, I feel like they are brave and loving people, you know, they just are into weird shit. And that's like, for like people who, you know, have ever felt different, or like, you know, they kind of make you say, you know, like, F off to everybody else. I'm just gonna do me. And for me, that's how I interpret the Addams Family.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is for like the outcasts or whatever. And I think all spooky friends can definitely relate to them. So yeah, no, I'm all the way there with Wednesday. And I think she's a perfect pick for it, to be honest. So that's really exciting. Yeah, it's a TV show though, so I'm not really. Is it a TV show? I believe it is, off the top of my head.
It's a TV show, but I don't know if it's like a 1-season limited series thing, or if it's like a multiple series thing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that, because it is hard to. Oh, maybe it would be better. I don't know. I go back and forth.
But I'm very into the idea of limited series myself, and Daniel Kaluuya is going to be in it. I'm very excited.
Oh, he's the best. He is the best.
And Stephen Ewan is going to be in it as well. So excited about that. But yeah, Jenny Ortega's Supremacy. Yeah, she's taking over. But I'm excited to see more of what she does. Like I said, I'm excited for Wednesday and Addams Family, and I can't wait to see Nope. I may do like a mini Nope situation thing that you guys could tune in for, like a video of me watching and then reacting. And I feel like I'm gonna be like mind fucked after I watch that movie, but but time will tell. But I'm still super pumped for it. Thank you, Emma, for joining me and hang backstage as I say goodbye to you. Thank you guys for joining us for this chat. If you enjoyed this video, this live, just hit the thumbs up and share it with your horror loving friends, and come back on my Twitter or Instagram and let me know what you thought of Nope after you watch it, because I'm excited. We're like 2 more weeks to watch it, and I'm gonna just throw up some of your comments up here. Nocturnal Horror said conflict is a good thing. All right, we like to be confused. You said the fact that she's 19. Whoa, she's that young?
I didn't know she was 19. Really?
Ooh, I feel like she looks
Now,
younger.
now I'm worried. Is she okay?
So I'm thinking about it all the time. Can we?
Oh my God, she's only 5'1". I love that. I'm 5 foot.
That's
Oh
why
wow, she is 19.
Yeah, somebody said
Yay.
vaccine. Yes, thank you, Love and Pockets.
Thanks
All right.
for coming, friends.
Thank you guys. Catch you guys next time. Thanks for shopping. Thanks for coming. Shopping. Thanks for shopping my live. Okay, I'm gonna end it now.